Well, Alice, don't be offended, but, you look like a frog.
Thanks, Anne. That's the nicest compliment. What shall I do?
Well, why don't you call a hairdresser and make an appointment? And in future, try to avoid changing your look.
Hello again and welcome back to your live TV program where you learn English. And in this lesson, I want to go back to look at some more telephone English because it's really not that simple. We have special phrases that we use when we speak on the telephone in English. So to help us, let's go and look at those on the language screen, okay? Now the first thing is when you introduce yourself on the telephone, we don't say, I am Louise. We say this. We say, this is Louise, or this is Mr. Smith. Now that's really quite unusual and different to other languages. So, hello, this is Mr. Smith. Or we can say, hello, Tom speaking. Tom speaking, Louise speaking. Okay, so don't say, hello, I'm Louise. We only use that when you do, for example, a sales presentation on the telephone. All right? Good. Then, asking who the other person is, you can say, hello, is that Mr. Jackson? Is that Mr. Jackson? So it's like, this is that Mr. Jackson? Hello, is that Peter speaking? And not, hello, are you Peter? Okay, is that? Good. Now, you want to ask to speak to another person. So what can you say? Well, you can say, hello, I'd like to speak to John, please. I'd like to speak to John. Or you can ask the questions, can I speak? Could I speak? May I speak to the managing director? Now, remember, may is very polite, could is neutral, and can is more informal. All right? Then we could also say, good morning, could you please put me through to Mr. Smith? Now, put me through to, which is difficult to say, put me through to, is like saying in American English, could you connect me to? All right, so that's connecting people. Now, when you connect a person, you can say, just a moment, I'll put you through to him. I'll put you through to him. You need to practice that a lot. I'll put you through to him. Or, yes, Mr. Smith is in, I'm trying to connect you now. Connect is the other word. And you can say, hold on, just a moment, please. That's to ask people to wait, okay? Good. Then leaving a message, you could say, you could ask, could you take a message, please? Could you take a message? Or can I leave a message? Then you could say, could you ask him or her to call me back? Could you ask him to call me back? All right? Then the last thing is taking a message. You can ask, can I take a message? Can I take a message? Or would you like to leave a message? All right, so there are some more fundamental and essential English language phrases that you use on the telephone, and I think you'll find them very useful. So experiment, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.
Good morning, everybody. Can I ask you a question? Yesterday evening, I got...
Sorry, Jack, I can't listen now. I've got to get to work. I have a meeting at 9:30 with my editor. And I'm late.
But I only need a minute. It's important.
Nothing is more important than this meeting. If I arrive late, my boss will kill me. Ring me later if you want. Bye-bye.
Great. Alice. Alice. Can I ask you a question? Yesterday evening...
No, Jack, I can't. I'm really sorry, but I have to get going too.
But you never leave before 11 in the morning. Why are you in such a hurry today?
I'm starting a new yoga course this morning. My horoscope says I have to do some exercise.
Well, if your horoscope says so. Anyway, I only need a second.
No, Jack. My teacher told me not to be late. You can give me a call later.
But Alice, wait! It's important. What a bunch of nuts. I wonder what my aunt will think.
Hi again. Did you hear what Jack said? He said, what a bunch of nuts. Do you know that expression in English? Because nuts has a couple of meanings. Nuts are the things that you have in an aperitif, but it's also a way of calling somebody a crazy person. You say, you're a nut, means you're crazy. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that for you. He also said, can I ask you something? May I ask you something? He wanted the girls to listen to him and they weren't paying any attention. And I want to talk to you about these words, which are may, could, and can, because they are the three forms that we use when we ask for permission. So what's the difference between them? Now, if I say, excuse me, may I open the window because it's hot in here, may is used in more formal situations. If I use could, it can be used in any situation. It's neutral. So, for example, could you lend me your pen? And can is used in more informal situations. Imagine you're at home, you're having dinner, you want the salt, so you can ask, can I have the salt? Less formal. So let's go to the screen and see those written, see the differences. We talked about it already, actually, when we looked at telephone conversations. So, formal situations, may I, and we can also say, may we. May I, may we. May I ask you a question? May I offer you something? And may I have this dance? So remember, may for formal situations, it's very polite, okay? Then could for neutral situations, which means you can use it in any situation, really. Could I use your phone, please? Could I change the appointment? And could we meet later? All right, so very useful verb. It's good in all situations. And then can you pass me the salt? Please, more informal with your friends, your family, people you know well. Can I have some wine, please? And can I borrow the car tonight? So those are the examples, all right? May, could, and can. So remember, depending on who you are talking to, make that choice. May, could, or can. Let's go back to that's life. The girls are exhausted and Jack has a surprise for them. Let's see what it is. Bye.
What a day. I'm exhausted.
Me too. All of my muscles are killing me. What is there to eat, Anne?
Well, We can make a sandwich. That's about it. The fridge is practically empty. Jack, is that you? Who's that with him?
Hi, everybody. This is my Aunt Carolina. She came all the way from Bologna to see me. She'd like to see how I'm getting along.
Well, good evening. Jack, why didn't you say anything? I should clean up. Look at the mess.
Well, everybody was in such a hurry this morning. I tried to telephone you, but your mobile was off. And Alice's mobile just rang and rang. I imagine you left it at home again as usual, Alice.
Well, I guess so. Good evening. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, well, only girls, eh? So, you are Alice. Alice, the interesting one of the house. And you are Anne, the housekeeper.
Please, Aunt Carolina.
So that's how you describe us.
Come on, Aunt Carolina is only joking, right?
And this is the wonderful house.
Well, yes. But it's usually tidy.
It's still very charming.
Thank you. May I offer you something? Would you like to have a glass of wine, maybe?
Yes, thank you, I would.
Alice, could you get a bottle of wine, please?
There isn't any wine. And there isn't any wine. There isn't any beer. We have to do the shopping.
Oh, well, I'm terribly sorry. It's not usually like this, but today was very busy.
Do you know what? Let's go out for dinner. Oh. What do you say, Aunt Carolina?
That sounds good to me. Excuse me, do you go out dressed like that? Maybe you should get cleaned up a bit?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Let's get ready to go out on the town.
May I ask you a question, Jack?
Of course, Aunt Carolina. Shoot.
Do you really think it's such a good idea to live together with all these women?
Well, hello, Mr. Monkey, and how are we feeling today? Let's check the thermometer. I know you're not well. Let's have a look. Good. Yes, the temperature has gone down. That's good news. Now, Mr. Monkey, you don't have to stay in bed any longer, okay, because your temperature has gone down, but you can't go out monkeying, not yet. You must stay indoors for another 3 days because you're not strong enough to go out yet, all right? You mustn't be too energetic. You can have relaxing baths and you can eat whatever you want, but you mustn't have any alcohol, okay? Because you haven't finished your antibiotics and it could have a disastrous effect on you, all right? So you must finish your cycle of tablets. Now, let's see what else. Oh, yes, and you must drink a lot of water, maybe 5 liters a day, if you can manage that, okay? Good, so, oh, and you don't have to pay me until you're better, okay, Mr. Monkey? So, take very good care of yourself, and I will come back tomorrow and check on your condition again, okay? So, goodbye, Mr. Monkey. See you tomorrow. I became a nurse to show you other ways of using modal verbs. Now, so far we have studied can, could, and may, and these are verbs which help to change the meaning of the verb which comes after. They're called modal verbs. And here we were using verbs of obligation. Very interesting. Let's look at the screen and see those. Now let's first go back to permission. Remember we talked about can is a form of expressing permission, and I was giving him permission to do things. For example, you can eat whatever you want, You can go for walks, and you can't, however, that's not giving permission, you can't go monkeying or you can't go to work, all right? Then